Sefer Yehoshua, Kapitel Yudales. So after we spoke about Milchemes Malchei Hadorim, right? We saw the Milchemes Malchei Hadorim. I forgot actually to bring today the map to show the thing. Maybe after we finish, also the suffering we can try to do it all together. So this is basically, we have over here the Malchat Suffering come together. They come together to fight with Yehoshua Binu. They come all together, Malchat Suffering with Malchat Hadorim to fight against Yehoshua Binu. So let's see it inside. Kapitel Yudales. Vayehi ki Shmoya. First pasuk teaches us Vayehi ki Shmoya, the Yovin Melech Hatzoil. And Yovin Melech Hatzoil was the strongest king of all kings of the north. Vayishlach el Yoivov Melech Modoin, vel Melech Shimroin Shoimoim, vel Melech Achshov. Now the Abarbanel says that what was the Shmur over here? Vayehi ki Shmoya, Epes Gielt. What did he hear more than anyone else? So we find in this Shmur, Vayehi ki Shmoya, three different shmuas. First of all, he heard that the Malchei Hadorim, they couldn't fight. Now, why he's trying to fight against them? If there was 5 Malchei Hadorim and they did not manage to fight against Yehoshua, so why he with another 3 Melachim, Yoivov Melech Modoin and Melech Shimroin and Melech Achshov, why should he? Yes, be Matzliach. Because he understood that they were not Be'achdas. If they would have been Be'achdas, they're going to manage. But they were not Be'achdas, and that's Vayehi ki Shmoya. On Be'emetz Vayehi ki Shmoya, we start this Loshen Psiche, Al Pi Apshat. We find this also many times when we speak about the Kibusha Yehoshua, when Yehoshua captures Eretz Yisrael. We find it if we look in Kapitel Tes, for example, starts also the same thing. Kapitel Tes, Pasuk Aleph, Vayehi ki Shmoya kol ha-melochim asher be'ivei Yarden. We find many times we didn't hear Mashmo Shoma Ubo, Vayehi ki Shmoya. We heard about the Yehoshua Binun, the strength of Yehoshua Binun, how mighty was Yehoshua Binun, they were scared. Yovin could be, some say that Yovin is not his private name. This what? Every king of Malchei Hatzoil, they will call Yovin. Where do we call Yovin? We heard Malchei. Exactly, as you're all saying, by Dvoiro, Eishes Lapidois, the After of Parshas Beshalach, and Sefer Shoftim, Kapitel Daled. Over there we also learn about Dvoiro, Eishes Lapidois, and we find Paroi. We find many times in the world, we find Malki Tzedek, Adoni Tzedek, Avimelech, Malchei Grol, Avimelech, Sichoin, Paroi, for sure, As we find in England, we find Edward. In France, we find Louis. Right? We find also today, we find the same. Today, we found the same idea of calling the king the same name. So Yovin could be also, or maybe it was the same Yovin. Unlikely to say it was the same Yovin because we can see that they killed him. Right? Elamai, maybe the same Yovin was another person. Yovin, or we could say that actually it was called Yovin. So Yovin, Chatzoy. What is Chatzoy? Chatzoy was a very big, powerful melucha, Mitzad Atzmoy, in the north of Eretz Yisrael. This was very famous, very big from the land of Canaan, And this we mentioned also, if you look at what we call Teudot Chitzoniot, we learned all kinds of reliefs. We do find Chatzoy from the times of the office. So what did we find them? From the times of the office? In the times, now we're saying in the times of Yehoshua, who was ruling in Chatzoy? In Chatzoy was many different rule of Canaanites and the Canaanim, and they would call us. So we're going to find in some something they call the Roish Kol HaMamlochos. Roish Kol HaMamlochos is Chatzoy, and also we see also in some information they call it Bris Melech Chatzoy. This Bris Melech Chatzoy is Yoivov Melech Modoy, Melech Shimon, Melech Achshov. All of them were on the same covenant of Melech Chatzoy, that he was a powerful king. Yoivov, also we find, where do we find Yoivov, or where do we find in the Torah? We find also with Bnei Evel, Yokton, right? Yeah, that's right, we find it already. And Modoin, again, Modoin, Yoivov Melech Modoin. Modoin is also a city what belongs to Canaan. And we also mentioned this in the times of Shiabud Mitzrayim is mentioned already. And some say that this is Madian, the place what's called today next to Kfar Chitim. You know, it's Kfar Chitim, not far from Tzfas. It's a cold place Madian, some say it's the same thing because the same similar name of Madian. And Melech Achshov, who's Melech Shimon and Melech Achshov, so we don't say what's the name of the Melech. Maybe because they were under Melech Hatzoyer, as the Abarbanel says, they were kofuf leMelech Hatzoyer. They didn't have the importance themselves to be called by the name. They were called Melech Shimon, Melech Achshov, because they were under Melech Shimon. Again, is what we learned Shimon. Okay. But we do find Shimon, we do find, if you look at the look at Kapitel Yutes Pasuk Tezvot. You see, Vekatos, Venahalol, Veshimon, Veidoalo, Ubeislechem, Orim, Shteimesle, Vechatzein. Over there, it's talking about the western border of Shevet Zevulun, the Nachla of Zvulun. And this is not Shimon, as you say, yes. And the Yerushalmi and Megillah said that this is Simonio. That's what we call it, Simonio. This is the same thing what we call over there. So I don't know if they think Simon, right? And why? But same Shimon. Simon, Shimon. Simon, Simonio. These are the Yerushalmi and Megillah that this is the Shimon, the Shimon. Yeah. Simon, yeah. But this is, as we say, Nahalol. So Nahalol, we know where is Nahalal today, right? Nahalal is in Emek Israel, up in the north. So it's quite somewhere there. It's not the Shimon what we know. You're right. Yeah. The Achshov also is. We do find Achshov. If you learn later on in the same kapitel in Pasuk Chofei, you see over there. ויהי גבולום, ויהי תגור 5 למטה בני עושר, ויהי גבולום חלקה וחלי ובטן ואחשוף. In the same kapitel 10. So we do find that this was part of the Nachla of Osher, Achshov. Again, this is in the north of the Galil. The north of the Galil, this is the thing. Yeah, okay. Pasuk base. ואל המלוכים אשר מצפון בהור ובערובו נגב כינורוס, and also to the rest of the kings that they are from the north of the mountain. ובערובו, the Arova is not the Arova, but בדרך כלל the Arova is the south. Over here is the south of the north. Yeah, Negev Kinoros, in the south of a place what's called Kinoros. Some say is the Kinneret, and some say this is from the south, not far from Akko. Uba Shvelo is the valleys or the plains. Uben Fois Doyer Miyom. That means Min Fois Doyer Miyom. Miyom is always Miyom is from the west, and that's the place from the western is Fois Yom. So this is basically Kimat, the whole north of Klal Yisrael, of Eretz Yisrael at the time. There was ruling by the Canaan, and the Canaanim are taking all together be'achdus against Yehoshua binu. And this is much more than Milchemes Malchei Adorim. We spoke about Kapitel Yud is all about Milchemes Malchei Adorim. Now we're speaking about Milchemes Malchei HaTzofon, and it's much more. As we can see that Yehoshua binu is also actually much scared, and as we find different things. Says the apostle. הכנעני ממזרח ומיום, והאמורי, והחיתי, והפריזי, והיבוסי בהור, והחיבי תחס חרמון בארץ המצפו. From Mitzophoin is from the thing, right? It's Kenoris and all of these places, as we just saw. And in the beginning, he mentioned also the names of the Mamlochos, of the ones that actually they did a covenant together with Yovi Melech HaTzoyer. And then he also says much more than Yovi Melech HaTzoyer, that he was actually ruling on the whole north side of Eretz Yisrael. And the Hermon, as we know, the Hermon is what's called today Hermon, yeah? Right, the Hermon. Pasuk Dalet. Vayetzu heim vekol machaneim. Heim vekol machaneim. Now, the mitzvah, this is actually very interesting. We spoke about the mitzvah many, many times before, especially when we learned Sefer Shoftim many, many years ago. We spoke about that many mitzvah, there was a few mitzvahs. Because we find that Shmuel Hanavi, he tells everyone, he gathers everyone again to the mitzvah. He said the mitzvah is somewhere next to Yerushalayim. And that's mashma. Over here, the mitzvah is next to the Chermoin, right? Eretz HaYarden, Chermoinim, as we find also Pasuk in Tehillim, right? Eretz Chermoinim, Eretz Yarden, Chermoinim. This is the mitzvah. That means somewhere in the Yarden. So there was many places what's called mitzvah. Mitzvah is, as we explained, anywhere that there's high place. Like a mitzvah, what we call today in Hebrew, mitzvah means the you can see it from the top. A view. Miloshin soife, right? Soife humabi. So you go up the mountain, and then you could soife. You could watch. You could see to the distance, and that is a mitzvah anywhere. There is a high place that they gather together. That is a mitzvah. That could be called a mitzvah. So let's see pasuk Dalet. Vayetzu hey, all of them. Vechol machaneim. Imom am rov kechol asher asfas hayom l'roiv v'sus v'rechev rav me'oid, and the rechev. Probably when we mentioned Nach, we mentioned Rechev, it means a Rechev Barzel, as we find later on in Kapitel Yuzayin. We find also in Sefer Shoftim, we find Rechev Barzel. Okay, Vayivoadu. Vayivoadu is the Shoresh of Yud Ayin Daled, or Yad, or Vad, right? The Pshat is that they were Noi Adu Yachdov al Hashem al Mashichoi, they get together, yeah? It's a Nifal, yes. It's a Nifal Mishoresh. But Mishoresh of Yad and Vad is the same thing. They camped together Yachdov El Mei Meroim, next to the water of the city. What's called Meroim. Meroim is also a famous city of the Canaanim, what belongs to the Canaanim. And some say this is Miron, that's next to Tzfat. That's some say that's Miron next to Tzfat. And there was a state in Yerushalmi, Vishem Ratancham. And Bederech Klal, no, some say that Mei Meroim is what we call the Achula. The Achula, the water of Achula is the Mei Meroim, yeah. Sorry? Yeah. The wetlands of Achula. It depends what's Mei. Some say it's this, some say it's thing. Okay. Mei Meroim and Leilochem in Israel. They all come to Leilochem in Israel. Vayomer Hashem el Yehoshua. Kishmor told Yehoshua, Al tiro mehem. Al tiro mipeneim. Sorry. Al tiro mipeneim. That means, like Yehoshua tells us exactly, if we want to do the comparison to Milchemes Hadoroim, the Malchei Hadoroim, if we look at the Pasuk Ches, right, in the previous perek, it's also very, very similar. No, tells them, Vayomer Hashem el Yehoshua al tiro mehem. Over here it's slightly different. Over here, Vayomer Hashem Yeshua Tiro mipeneim mipekimochol koeis azois anoichi noizen eskulom chalolim lifnei Yisrael esuseyem teakel vesmarkevoiseyem tisroi boish. So it's actually in Milchemes Hador we find similar what we say al tiro mehem. Is the difference or is no difference? That is mehem mipeneim is very similar, or there is a difference. What's the Indian? What we find over here? Kois hazois. Kois hazois means kois chayim. And this hour, in 24 hours, te'akel. And Chazal explain us, like more with the Zohar and Daf Yud Gimel, the Gemara says, what is the ikur? Ikur, the Gemara teaches us, hamenasha is parsoiseo mina okuva ulemato. That means from the knees. From the knees, they should cut the feet of the legs of the horses, that they can't use them again. And this equal that they shouldn't use any more these horses for a war. The Ralbag explains what's the reason. What's the reason of this mitzvah? It sounds like very cruel. What do you want from the horses? He says that Klal Yisrael should not take it to themselves, and then they can have a bitachon. We're going to win because the horses. No, Baruch is going to win. It does. He's going to. He's going to win because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and nothing, even against these horses, and you can't use these horses. And they don't say, also they should be, and it says this was only a mitzvah l'shaita. This mitzvah is not for every war where they go out. Stam to kill, it shouldn't be for use for war. They could use it still, but not for war. That means that the means after for war. Maybe you could use it. What you could use a horse without legs, the face. The hooves, maybe it just means. Yeah. Yeah. And I tell you if you look at the Malbim says the same thing. If you look at the Malbim says, "Lebal ivtachu Yisrael aleim b'milchamtom ukvar nitztavu amelech bal yarbel isusim." Atkan l'shoinai of the Malbim. So the Malbim says, what the Malbim says, "Shenitztavu laker asusim shelo yavir hamelech," and the lav of lo yarbel isusim. But this is Like the Malbim, yeah? The Malbim says that. Who is going to get the susim? The king is going to get the susim? No. Who's getting the horses? The booty, the shlal. Who's getting it? He's the Klal Yisrael. Kibush Eretz Yisrael belonged to the king. It belonged to the whole of Klal Yisrael. And even if you look later on also in Pasuk Yudaled, we see that it's not like a normal milchama. A normal war, so the shlal goes, the booty goes to the whole of to the king. If you look at Pasuk Yudaled, you look v'chol shlal le'orim oile ve'abeima bozos elohem b'nei Yisrael. This was different. And the milchames of Klal Yisrael, of Kibush Eretz Yisrael, did not go to the king. It went only davke to Klal Yisrael. So what's the problem? So there was no king over there to take it. He's not going to be over on the lav of Lo Ya'am Lo Yisusim. Yeah. Now, there's a what's about the lav of Tzar Balei Chayim? It's Machlokes Balei Chayim, Tzar Balei Chayim the Iraisa, Tzar Balei Chayim the Rabbanon. What about Tzar Balei Chayim? There's not the thing. Tzar Balei Chayim the Iraisa, how are they allowed to do it? So it's not with the Zohar. Let's see. So Toysna with the Zohar says that you have to say Zohar Shor. Like we mentioned many times, that always we said Zohar Shor and thing. But Toysna Mometzia Daf Lamed Beis, no, you don't learn from it. Al Pi Adibur. Zohar Shor Al Pi Adibur. You don't learn from it. Anywhere where we say Zohar Shor, Ara Carmel, yeah, Eliyahu Ara Carmel, or Gideon at night when he burns the Parashah Le'ovi. All of these things is Zohar Shor. We don't learn out of it. Yeah, also here we have a Mefirush Yisro. No, that's what we're saying. So how could they do it? Because it's Zohar Shor, and we can't learn out from it. But Toysna Metzia Daf Lamed Beis fragen, why Oikrin al Hamelochim? Oikrin al Hamelochim. Also, the horse of a king. Also, there's the same thing. Ein Oikrin al Sus Hamelech. You don't ride on a horse of the king. And Oikrin al Hamelochim. Like Toysna, why we don't say Tzar Balei Chayim? If lefi the shida Tzar Balei Chayim the Iraisa. But Toysna says a few terutzim. The second Teret says Toysna because steht over there is to say te'akel. So it could be doiche. This is nicht kaza Tony Kal to be doiche the king. And the doctor says. Now, if we say it's a Yerusha, how can we learn that it could be doiche with Bnei Hamelech? Dafka Yerusha. How can we doiche with Bnei Hamelech? Elamai. We have to say that Tosis says like Tosis. There's also the Yosef, the Shem Daran. The Yosef says the Shem Daran that Tzar Balei Chayim is not an Iso, only a Messiah Shaloi LeTzoyrech. But if there is a Tzoyrech, called Sheyesh LeTzoyrech, the Tzoyrech was Matir. Now, if you're doing the lack or the equal of Susayim, what we're doing over here, the equal, is a double Shevet Tzoyrech. Okay, but let's go back. This was the Chagav, but let's go back to what we said that the Rambam, the Malbim. The Malbim says that why they were Ma'akas Susayim, but the king shouldn't be Oiber Lo Ya'am Lo Yisusim. Let's look at the Rambam. The Rambam in Ilchois Shmita B'Yoibo. Perik Yud Gimel Alocha Yud. So the Rambam Kol Shevet Levi. Muzori. He talks about the ganze Shevet Levi Muzori. Shelo Yinchalu Be'eretz Canaan. V'chein that they don't get the part. They don't get inheritance in Eretz Canaan. They don't get any nachla in Eretz Canaan. Because the Rambam V'chein Hei Muzorim. Same thing. There's a Azora for Shevet Bnei Levi. Shelo Itlu Chelek Bebizo. When they collecting and they giving out the booty for what they collect from the milchama, from the war, when they collect, they capture Klal Yisrael, they capture the cities, they don't get part of the shlal or as they talk the Rambam thing. Why? Says the Rambam, we let off a pasuk shenemar lo yiyu lakoyanim alevim kol shevet Levi chelek v'nachlo im Yisrael. Says the Rambam chelek v'pizo v'nachlo ba'oretz. What's chelek v'nachlo v'shteit in pasuk? Says the Rambam chelek is in the pizo and nachlo is in the oretz. Another the Rambam, that's Alocha Yud. Continues the Rambam Alocha Yud Aleph. It says the Rambam, Yiroeli, she'ein advorim amurim elo בארץ שנכרסו עולהו בריס לאברום ליצחק וליעקב ויהושע בונהו ונסחל כל אוהם. But this is part of that what we said, אין להם חלק ונחלו. But what about Avot Sha'al Kol Avot? So they go out to war, different lands, Shekoivesh Melech Mimalchei Yisrael, that the king of Malchei Yisrael went to war against a different land. Zog the Rambam, Harei HaKoyanim ve'Alevim ve'oison ha'arotzois u'bizoson kechol Yisrael. Then they could collect and they could get part of the booty like the whole of Klal Yisrael. Azoi zogt the Rambam. What do we see from the Rambam? That if it's talking about not Eretz Yisrael, if we talk about anywhere else, not Eretz Yisrael, so we say that there is a din chaluke, there's a din chaluke in Menachlo, a din chaluke in the Bizo, right? It belongs to the whole of Klal Yisrael. Only in Eretz Yisrael that the Levim say it, loi, right? We have a miut, loi, that they shouldn't get a chelik Menachlo, right? Not like the rest of the Arot, so it's that they got. The Rambam, there is a very famous shayla of the Rambam. I think they said Mishen the Briskerov. Don't remember, but I think they said the Briskerov. They're playing the shayla. The Rambam says in Ilchos Melochim, Perek Daled Alocha Tes, the Rambam zok azoi. Kol hamamlochos shekoivesh harei oitzois hamelochim lamelech. Everything belongs to the king. Everything belongs to the king. When we talk about Sha'ar HaRotzois, this is the Rambam. U'Sha'ar HaBizo sheboizezim, yeah, anything that the Bizo, they give it in front of the king. It says the Rambam knows in front of. They put it in front of the king. And he takes Mechza Berosh, and we spoke about this Rambam a lot when we spoke about David HaMelech. Remember in the beginning of Melachim, we spoke about it. And the other half, they give it Choykim Bo Anshe Hatzava, right? The Anshe Hatzava, they together with the Yoshvin Alakeli, that we spoke about. We mentioned the Rambam when we spoke about David HaMelech said, right? Half of them sat Alakeli, and the David HaMelech says everyone should, yeah, exactly. Shove B'Shove, the Chalukah should be Shove B'Shove. I think like the Rambam. In Alocha Yud says the Rambam, Kol ha'oretz shekoivesh arei sheloi v'noisel la'avodov u'le'anshei ha'milchomo. That means, kefi ma sheyirtze. U'meniach le'atzmoi, we talk about the king, he puts himself, u'meniach le'atzmoi, kefi ma sheroitze. What do we see over in the Rambam? We see over in the Rambam, and in the Chus Melochim, that b'sha'ar ha'rotzois, we don't divide not the land and not the visa to the whole of Klal Yisrael. Just what? Everything goes to the king, and he can decide to give it the Teras Matonah to Yenim, and he can decide to give the Teras Matonah to Yenim, and also the visa. And Lechoyer, the Rambam is a steer. Tzad Echad, and Nilchoi Shmita V'Yoyev, the Rambam says that only in Eretz Yisrael, everyone divides Shove B'Shove, and Koyanim and Levim do not get. Sha'ar HaRotzois, also Koyanim and Levim get Shove B'Shove, and in Ilchos Melochim, the Rambam says that they don't get. Bichlal in Sha'ar HaRotzois, the king gets everything. Just one. Yeah, but no one gets anything, so why the Levim get? Yeah, but it's midin that they could give also Matona, you could give also the Levim in Eretz Yisrael. So Miteras Nachlo, Miteras Matona. Yeah, so Matona can give, yeah, again, it's the same thing. But the Shaila. Elomai, the Teretz is that the Shaila is when they go to capture and to conquer land outside of Eretz Yisrael, outside of Eretz Yisrael, if they're doing a deal of kibush. What means a din of kibush? To give it now a din of Eretz Yisrael. To give it a din of Eretz Yisrael. And that's what the Rambam says in Ilchos Trumas. The Rambam says, and Ilchos Trumas, Perek Aleph, Alocha Beis, Eretz Yisrael o Amuro, Bechol Mokoim. What is it? Arotze shekovshon Melech Yisrael oinovi midas roi Yisrael. That means not kibush yochid. We have a kibush yochid, where we spoke about David HaMelech. And then we have Midas Roy Yisrael that all of them are married. And that is called Kibush Rabim, like the Rambam. That's called Kibush Rabim. And it's Chalonet, a din, and a Teiras Eretz Yisrael. It has a din of Eretz Yisrael. And if it has a din of Eretz Yisrael, so you divide it to the whole of Klal Yisrael like Eretz Yisrael himself. This one. Where we did not conquer this land, or Kibush, we didn't Kibush, it was not Chalonet Teiras Kibush. It was, let's say, it was not Midas Roy Yisrael. It was not, let's say, Klal Yisrael, so it was not Chalon Hashem Eretz Yisrael. Then it belongs to the king. And this is what Rashi says also in Gittin, in Daf Chesem and Beis, in Gabi Surya. Then the Gemara says that Surya was a Kibush Yochid. Surya was a Kibush Yochid. It did not belong to all of Klal Yisrael together. The same like it wasn't a Kibush of Yehoshua bin Nun. Yehoshua bin Nun, it was a Kibush of the Klal Yisrael. But David, he done it only Letzorko. He didn't do it with all of Klal Yisrael. So Rashi says, because that Kibush Surya was not like the Hilchos Kibush of the whole of Klal Yisrael. And that's why it's not tracked to the whole of Klal Yisrael. This word, it belonged to who? To David himself. It belonged to David. If he them, the Rambam in the first Melachim what says that the Arotzois and the Biza what did not belong to the Klal Yisrael, just what it belongs to the king and belongs when it was not Chanan at the Torah Eretz Yisrael because he done it for himself. But the Rambam in Hilchot Shmita v'Yovel is talking about you do kvishe koivshim shar ober for what? To give it the Torah Eretz Yisrael, to give it the Torah Kibush, and over there belongs to all of Klal Yisrael. Yeah. Okay, so wherever you have above that. Now we have to understand why that from the thing. So there's a Meshech Chochmah in Parsha Shoftim. He says why the reason why we're not Mami the Melech from Shevet Levi. He brings the Rambam. The Rambam says in Ichos Melachim in Perek Daled that the king gets half of the biza, and Shevet Levi is not allowed to take half of the biza, and that's why Ein Mami. That's the reason Ein Mami the Melech with Shevet Levi they shouldn't get half of the biza. That's the thing. Okay, let's continue a little bit. Maybe we're gonna get back to this Indian. So he said, "Vesmarke boiseyem tisroi beish." Vesmarke boiseyem tisroi boish. Melkomes you have to burn down in the fire. That's what we're learning over here. Pasuk Zayin. Vayovoy Yehoshua. Vayovoy Yehoshua. V'chol am ha'melchomo imoy aleim al mei meroim. They came next to mei meroim. Pitoim. What means pitoim? That means when the Knaani did not expect it, Bechlal, and Vayiplu, Vayiplu means they fell on them, like suddenly, like it says over there, yeah, means suddenly, Bohem, that means, Bohem means inside the Machne. Pasuk Ches, Vayitnem Hashem beyad Yisrael, Vayakum, Vayirdefum ad Tzidoin Rabo. What's Tzidoin Rabo? There's two Tzidoins. There's Tzidoin, the very famous port of Tzidoin, right? What belonged to the Phoenician at that times, and that was that's very very up north. All right, it's said over there in the Pasuk, Vayi Gvul HaKna'ani. Mitzidon, that's the Tzidoin. The Tzidoinim. It's called the Rabo because there was two Tzidoin. There was Tzidoin was called Tzaido, and that was Tzidoin Zeire, and there was Tzidoin the Tzidoin Rabo. Ve'ad Misrafois Maim. Misrafois Maim. The Misrafois, the Shirish is Shin Reish Pei, and that is what means Misrafois. Misrafois, some say Misrafois means somewhere very high. Some say Misrafois means there was a place that the water came there, and there was very, very strong sun, and the sun would evaporate the water, and the salt, and that would burn the water. Misrafois Amayim. Yeah. Ve'ad Bikas Mitzpeh. Bikas Mitzpeh, this was in the land of the Mitzpah, what we just mentioned beforehand, and Mizrocho Vayakum Ad Bilti Ishir Lohem Sorid. No one was left. Pasuk Tes. Vayas Noam Yehoshua Kasher Omar Lo Hashem Esusayim Iker Vesmarke Voisayim Storaf Boeish. And this is maybe that's why we say, because it was a raw shot, that's why he done it. Because we always have the Shaila Nach. He done it. For sure he's going to do it. Maybe the Saraya, maybe we could say, maybe it says Raya, that this was a raw shot, that's what we say, yeah. Even though Shaloi Kedin, a raw shot is the Fitoish is another Zoret. Pasuk Yud Vayoshav Yehoshua Boisai. He comes back from chasing the Machane of Canaan. Vayilko is Chatzoyer, Ves Malko. Who's the Malko? This is Yovin Melech. Hiko Bechorev, he killed them at the edge of the sword. Ki Chotzoyer Lefonim, he Roish Kol HaMamloch Yisrael. As we said, Chotzoyer. And he's giving him a reason why Yehoshua, after he chased all of the other camps of the Canaanim, he's going back to Chatzoyer. He tells you the reason is because Lefonim, before they captured it, before they conquered it, this was Roish HaMamloch Yisrael of the whole north. They were the head of the whole north. Vayaku Eskol HaNefesh Asher Bo Lefi Chorev Hacharim. What's Hacharim? Hacharim is like Vayaku, right? It's a Loshen Hifil, right? And this is Bederkal after the Poyal of Vayaku comes the Ifil of Hacharim, right? Hacharim, Ikum, because thing Lo Yisar Kol Neshama, Aveh Neshama. As you say, I'll feed the pasuk. What stated in the pasuk? L'techaye kol neshama. So very good. But this is based on the pasuk. L'techaye kol neshama, and v'eschotzoy storach boish. V'eskol orei hamelochim oile. V'eskol malchem lochat Yehoshua gat ve'yaken lefi cherev hecherim oisam kasher tzivo Moshe eved Hashem. We find already that Moshe eved Hashem is we find already the Gemara Sanhedrin, Daf Samach Zayin. The Gemara says ויקהו ישראל לפי חורב, וישיחון ואוהב. And the same, that's a hemshech, what Moshe Rabbeinu said, וישיחון ואוהב, ויקהו לפי חורב, Yehoshua ben Nun does it over here. רק, only, כל נאורים האוהים דויסלתילם, לא יסובם ישראל. זולוסי ישחצויר לבדו שורף Yehoshua. I mean, that's right. Only, tilom, what's tilom? Tail means like a hill, a small hill. And they would, b'derech klal, build the cities on, like Gvoy, Soromi, V'tachas, Koleitzranon, they would build it on a small hill. Why? First of all, security. It's much easier than you could watch if someone is coming. Right? Yirmiyahu says of that, V'niv Nesoyir, we said in Shlomo Al-Kavetz, and Chodoy, V'niv Nesoyir, Al-Tilom. Where you build the ear, you build it on a tail, And didn't say he burnt it. Now, many times what we find over there, right? There's Lo Yisov Yehoshua, Chatzoyer Levado Storaf Yehoshua, he burnt it. וכל שלל להורים או אלה והבאים, בוזזו להם בני ישראל רק אסכול עוד או מיקול לפי חורב, had ishmidom, and this was what Yehoshua says in I, right? And that was the way Moshe Rabbeinu also, Milchemes Oig V'Sichoin, right? What he says, Rak HaBe'im O Bozaznu Lonu, Ushla Leorim Asher Nochodnu. Right? And we find over there, Ad Ishmidom Oisom Lo Yishiru Kol Neshama. Lo Yishiru Kol Neshama, as we said, we find Legabe Lo Yitechai Kol Neshama, so we say Lo Yishiru Kol Neshama. Kasher Tzivo Hashem Es Moshe Avdoi, Kein Tzivo Moshe Es Yehoshua, V'chein also Yehoshua. Exactly the same thing. Lo Heisir means Lo Igora. He didn't think, right? There's Lo Isosu min adover asher yom 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 l'smoil. Lo Heisir dover. Vayikach Yehoshua eskol haaretz hazois, ehor, eskol hanegev, eskol eretz hagoyshen. Eretz hagoyshen over here is not the Goshen what was in Mitzrayim. It's a different Goshen. What there was over there, different Eretz Goshen or Eretz hagoyshen. That means, yeah. V'es hashvelo, v'es ha'arova, v'es har Yisrael. What's har Yisrael? So some say har Yisrael is the main mountains of Eretz Yisrael, and that's what's called Har Ephraim, as we can see later. But so what's the pshat? Har Yisrael, the Radak brings it down, and many other Meforshim bring it down, that this is Har Yisrael means Al Shem Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu, what he is called Yisrael, right? Yisrael, Yaakov, lo yikor ha'od shimcho Yaakov el Yisrael. Yaakov brought the Chelkas HaSod next to Shem. Right? Shechem asher be'eretz Canaan, stated in Bereshis. And later on, Yaakov and his sons, they, right? ואני נוסעתי לכל שכם אחד על אחיך, אשר לקחתי מיד המוירי, פוסק פסוק דרכי, בחר בי וביקשתי. This is the same Har. Har Yisrael, that's the same mountain what Yaakov Avinu, where he belonged in. Mino hore cholok. That means what's hore cholok? And this by Har Ephraim, it's very interesting, and you see it till today. Hore cholok means on one side, the east side of the mountain, smooth. That means it doesn't grow there anything. Nothing grows there. So that's mina hore cholok. Oile seir that goes up the seir. What means seir? Oile seir that goes up from the mountain. Der seir, der har seir, right? The state of the Pasuk Dvorim, der har seir. Ve'ad Baal God, and seir Baal God is the border of the northeast, right? Of Yehoshua, and we can see this. We can see Baal Bach, and we can see later on where he came. Bevikas alvonoi tachas har Hermoin till under har Hermoin. V'eskol malchem lokat vayakev b'sei. Over here, this is brought down as a few psukim, but let's understand this was Sheva Shnois Milchoma. This is Sheva Shnois Kibush. But we are learning over here a few psukim, so in 20 minutes, 40 minutes, but this is 7 years. In the 7 years. Yomim Rabim also, Pasuk Yitches, Yomim Rabim also Yehoshua es kol hamelochim oile milchama. And this Yomim Rabim, as we said, what's the Yomim Rabim? Sheva Shnois Kibush. As we come to the Psukim Meforash, we can see later on when Cholev and Yefune in Kapitel, if we look later on in Kapitel Yudaled, in Pasuk Yud, and we see over there, Ve'ato hine echi Hashem oisi ka asher diber ze arboim v'chom mishono, me'oz diber Hashem es hadavar hazeh el Moshe, Sholach Yisrael v'midbar Ve'ato hine anochi hayom ben chomesh shmoinim shono. We see that the Cholev and Yefune, he speaks about over there, that the Milchama in the north was not like the Milchama in the south, like this was a short, very short Milchama. This was 7 years. Not 7 years, it was Kimat 7 years, yeah. No, that was later on. What we see. Yomi Rabbi Faked also Yisrael is Amelachim. Yomi Rabbi. No, they were punished later on because Yehuda lo Yehoirish in the beginning of Sefer Shoftim. Yes. I don't have this Yomi Rabbi. I think I don't have the Radak, but I remember the Radak brings it down. You have a Radak over there? I don't know. I think the Radak brings it down that Yeshua got punished because of this. The Radak brings it? Yeah, I don't have the Radak over here. I think the Radak brings it down, yeah. That was the Yudalit Shonim. Kibush v'Chalukah. It's 14 years. Not only the thing, yeah. Yeah, he told the thing. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. No, he thought also that I think there's a Podimyoch. The Podimyoch says over there in Pasha, the Rosh Hashanah on Yechi Reuven Be'al Yomo, it says because Yeshua bin Nun Vod, it says Me'at Me'at Agol Shanu Miponecho. Okay, you have to do it slowly. You should do it slowly. Shouldn't do it so fast. Okay, you have to do it a bit slower. That's what he says. Me'at Me'at Agol Shanu Miponecho. Yeah. But the Medrash says about this, Rabbi's Machshav is Belevish. That's how Hashem is talking. Okay, let's see the few psukim. Yeah. Vayigach Yeshua es kol ha'oretz hazoi, pasuk Yud-Zayin. Minor ha'chol ha'koil es-ta'ir v'ad ba'al God, v'yigach telefon, tachas har chermon, v'eskom malchei mlocha v'yaked v'yamisa. Yoni Rami also Yeshua es kol ha'melochim ha'ile b'chomer, lo yehoiso ir asher yishlimo el b'nei Yisrael. That means this is the, as we learned, pustigmois, or how do you call it? The warnings, the ksavim, what they sent. The Yeshua bin Nun says, "Aroyte lifnois ifne." He gave them a choice before they came into Israel. Aroyte yashlim, yashlim. Asik zechoma, yashlim choma. Tosis things are gitin. It's Yerushalmi and Shvis, and right. So bildi chutz achivi yosh given as a koilo koma choma. No one done hashlomeh chutzvam as we learned the given. Kimei eis Hashem oy Yisrael lechazek es libom likras amilchomo es Yisrael lemanachrimo lebildi yosh dem tchino. Kilman Ashmidom Kashativa Hashem es Moishe. He should really Kishmo who's Mechazek his Libam. And as the Rambam says that, the Rambam also brings in Ilchos Tshuva, the Rambam brings the Perek Vov Aloch Gimel, the Rambam brings that the Chen HaKenani, not only Paroi, the Chen HaKenani, we have a Chazak his Libam, we have till now we know about Paroi. Says the Rambam, the Chen HaKenani Lefitei Avoisein, Mona Mehen HaTeshuva, Achenasu, also milchoma in Israel, and he brings down the pasuk of Ek, he makes Hashem Oisa lechazek es libo. Vayom Yehoshua boisai vayachres es ha'anokim. Now we talk about the giants. We're going to come back to the giants, right? About when we can see, Kolev and Yefune. That's what they thought. That's what he thought. Malchei Atzofo in Yovin, yeah, that's what he's thinking. Yovin Melech Canaan, he heard Bosses here. He heard that they were not be'achtos, so maybe that he came be'achtos, and Afal Piken, they was not much there. Otniel, we can see Otniel, he still had to fight with the giants. But Vayova Yeshua Boisai Vayachis Anokim Minoho, Min Chedoho was the same mountain what we said, the Hari soil, Min Chevoin, Min Tvir, Min Anov. What's Anov is Yeshua, this you can see the whole mitzvah of getting rid of the giants, we can see later on in Kapitel Yudalet. And then Shoftim, in the beginning of Shoftim, by Kolev, that he was the Rosh Shevet Yehuda, the younger brother of Meknaz, or the son-in-law of Meknaz, right? He was also the younger brother and also the of Meknaz. And the Anokim, we find of the Anefili B'nei Anok, where we find by the Meraglim, right? Moshe Rabbeinu says, Am Godol Verom B'nei Anokim, right? Mis Yatzel Lifnei B'nei Anok. We find Chevron. Over there, we know Vayova Yatchema, Veshon, Achimon, Sheishai, Vitalma, Yelidei Anok. We know they lived over there. It's called Kriyas Arba. One of the reasons is called Kriyas Arba because Dvir, as we can see later on, that this was together with Chevron. Min Anov, ומכל הר יהודה ומכל הר ישראל עם אורי המחירו ישוע. לא יגדול ישראל אנוקים בארץ בני ישראל רק בעזו, וגסטו באשדוד נשארו. זה הולך. ויקח ישוע את כל הארץ ככל אשר דיבר השם אל מוישה ויתנו ישוע לנחל ולישראל כמחלוקו ישראל לשבטיהם, והארץ שוקטו ממלחמה. That was the two main milchamas that we have. Is the milchemes Adorim, milchemes Atzofim. We have beforehand, we have the milchama of Yerichoi, Chamesh Malchei Adorim, Malchei Atzofim, and from now they just go through the list who exactly Yeshua ben Nun killed, and then we're going to go to the Chalukah. So we're going to have to learn a little bit differently the Chalukah Sa'aretz. We're not going to go into every one, but the Mitzvah Hashem, we're going to now take a break from Kapitel Yud Beis, And we're going to learn about Hashem from next week till Shavuos. We're going to have about Hashem Sefer Rus. I'm not promising to finish the first perek, the first pasuk. But about Hashem, we're going to start. It should be our scholar. Maybe we can continue after Shavuos. I don't know if it depends how the oilam are interested. Maybe it's not the end, yeah. So about Hashem next week. Rus is an heavy chumash in the end, so you don't have to bring Rus. It should be enough for the ganze oilam. I go to spirit.